what? Wagwan. Serve Nation, the entertainment feed community. Wagwan, we're up on the Saturday of Freestyle Saturdays. We're not wasting time, Nation, we're jumping out right away. A few weeks ago, the Prime Minister Andrew Holness stated that crime and violent type of dancehall music to some extent contributes to crime and violence in Jamaica. A lot of people, especially entertainers, disagree with the Prime Minister, and we expect a lot of entertainers to disagree with that statement. But as stated, many people disagree with that statement, including the likes of member of the People's National Party, Damian Crawford, who in a recent interview with Winford Williams of On Stage stated that research have shown violence and crime type music in no way at all contributes to crime and violence.
All the science suggests that there is no true causal relationship between music and crime, in particular murder, right?
Sir P over at Politricks Watch agrees with the Prime Minister and disagrees with Damian Crawford. Here's what Sir P had to say in response to Damian Crawford's arguments.
To say music can influence crime is downright ridiculous. To argue that, well, gospel music only have an effect on people who are already believing in religion and believing in Christianity, you will say that a foolishness because I know man in them nothing for doing in the church. They believe in a God and they hear gospel song and then get moved and go in a church. Enough man, no business about Rasta culture. Might grow up in a Christian one, sit down and listen to Sizzler, Luciano and them and get moved and compelled and influenced to go take up Rasta culture. They were not already Rasta and get drawn to Rasta. Ballad who have nothing to do with Rasta, listen to Rasta man music and turn Rasta. So if that logic applies to church thing, applies to Rasta thing, why wouldn't it apply to bad man lifestyle? A youth who not have nothing to do with badness can hear a song and say, this sound exciting, this sounds cool. Hear the artist that say, big up Stone Crusher, big up One Order, big up Clans. Why will the youth not get drawn towards badness? The fact say not every youth get drawn to it does not mean that it cannot influence. I cannot believe these are the best and brightest minds Jamaica have to offer.
To see that full video, a link for that will be provided in the description of the video and also pinned at the top of the comment section. Now Nation, Damian Crawford hits back at Politricks Watch. Here's what Mr. Crawford had to say.
Now first of all, I have a big up Sir Peep and I mean it's success. I see him thing I grow and thing and me myself watch it more time, you know. And that is where I get even the understanding of how much people miss him because I never even did have that information. So big up on what you do and go on do your thing, you know what I mean? But you make some things, you say some things when I think necessary to be corrected. And so, may I make this video, you know, for offer my opinion, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna really call you a simple Simon or those of the things when I say you call anybody who disagree with your opinion, because I understand, say, opinions, everybody have an opinion, you get me? But I can't debate what you feel or what you see. So if we're going to have this discussion in a base pan, I have seen somebody, I never did it, so I never seen the person there. Or if I feel this way, say, oh, when this man sing a song, it did cut down crime. The fact shows that is actually not true. We can look year to year at the level of crime. So when I go in a them little feel and see and hear something, you know what I mean? I go straight in those facts and authority, see? So, boom. The first thing is that we have discussed dancehall impact on crime. You use the term influence, fine, alright? So I use influence. Now, you can't really discredit when me say by using what other people say I have used. When me say, me don't know about no dancehall create or music create love or music create peace or all of those things. People who gravitate towards peace will gravitate towards music that embrace it. People who are against peace will gravitate towards music that's against it. If you look on a simple example of when you're in a relationship. When you're in a relationship and you're in love, you're more of a play a love song. When she leave you, you're going to go play a heartbreak song. So it is based on the emotion and the content that exists. You want content will satisfy this current emotion. See? When you understand what I say. See? Because I really want no continuous distraction and debate. Watch me now. Boom. If we are going to be discussing the impact of what you call murder music then, see? Because you are correct. Dancehall is a total genre of which some of them have content of murder. Just like our movies is a total genre and of which some of them have action movie. We call it action movie, right? So if you are going to call music with violent content, murder music, then you have to also call movie with that equal violent content murder movie, and cartoons with that equal violent content murder cartoon, and books with that equal violent content murder book. We just try to set a level playing field and a level platform so that we can have a better understanding as we move forward. See? All right. So therefore we come to the understanding, so we have discussed violent content, see, in what you call murder music. And I agree with you, say, all right, music that is referring to murder. See, boom. If we are going to discuss that, the only thing, especially for government, I'm a politician, I mean, I have no negative towards that, I mean, I have no shame in that. I am a person who seeks to help my country through the avenue of politics. Other people seek to help for them country through the avenue of Rotary Club, others through the avenue of Key Club, and you seem to try to help through the avenue of YouTube. Me, I try help through the avenue of politics. Therefore, me not have no shame in that game. You see what I say? That's how me feel, so me can help. I have lost a lot and I've gained a lot through seeking to help in that way. See? All right. So we come down now to the total mathematics. If we are talking about the impact of dancehall on violence, in particular murder, we have to be talking about a causal relationship. If we not talk about a causal relationship, there's nothing to discuss. If you are going to say that it can cause through the influence, so you say, all right, influence, cool. If dancehall influence people and it don't lead to murder, then we have nothing to discuss. So therefore, if it influence people and then it lead to murder, that's the only reason we have a conversation. See, that's the only reason for our discussion. So dancehall has influenced many, many things. Dancehall influence all when we drink. Hennessy, Guinness, that's great influence. Dancehall have influence, right? But I'm going to show you as I go along that that influence is based on the type of value that it is. For example, you have different types of values. See, I'm going to give them so we can research them or we can debate. You have more ways, which are deep-seated values, things that parents passed on, what the church, what the general culture has passed on. And then you have folk ways, which are fashion, things where just come in and come out, fleeting. So Clarks is not a more way. It's a fashion, and Cartel and many other artists influence wearing of Clarks because it is a lower level value of fashionable. What's to wear. Tight pants is a lower level value. What's to wear. What else would I say is a lower level value now? Tattoo is a lower level value, right? However, they have not seen them influence us to for example, go into homosexuality, which is a higher level value. You understand where I come from? So therefore, the influence of art has been proven to be more reserved for lower level values, for which murder is not a lower level value. Murder is a higher level value. See? So me and my man never have great conversation and discussion about how that make me a person by what pants, if it tight or if it loose. But we have had great conversations about how we go about doing things as it relates to inflicting harm on other people. So therefore, that is a higher level value. See? So the first thing I show you is that influence isn't 0 or 1. You call that binary. So it is not that you have no influence or you have influence. You can have influence to a point and then no further. See? So the music in itself can have influence to a point on lower level values, what you call folkways, and not to higher level values, what you call mores, M-O-R-E-S. See? Come here, give them now for research and we'll come debate. Cool. So we come to boom now. We have established that we now just talk about if 0 or 1. We are talking about a level of influence to become a causal variable. See? On criminal activity. If we not talk about that, there's no need for the Prime Minister to mention it. If we not talk about that, there was no need for anti-gang to seek to criminalize these things. See? Now, I love if you do a quick Google and realize that this is not a new thing. True Andrew said that is the least of my thing. Right? When Peter Bunting said it, I was equally saying no, and that was my party. Right? Because me work off of facts, me work off of information, work off of research. So I'm going to give you some of these research now so that we can have a debate, because what you are suffering from is not something make you a simple Simon, see? So I'm not call you a simple Simon, because this debate is not new. This debate come from Aristotle, debated Plato, them man they are two known genius, see, in a freedom time, on the influence of art on criminal activity. So I'm not going to call you a simple Simon, see? I said to you, say, yo, make a look upon it. What you're suffering from is what they call the illusion of causality. It is so predominant that it actually has been researched and have a term called the illusion of causality. Now it says illusion of causality, may I read for you now, occur when people develop the belief that there's a causal connection between two events that are actually unrelated. Such illusions have been proposed to underlie pseudoscience and superstitious thinking. It can have disastrous consequences for government, health, finance, and well-being. See? So I'm resisting this illusion of causality because I know that it can lead to negative policy and by extension, negative outcomes for the practitioners within an industry. Let me show you now. If you accept, so we talk about a causal relationship. As I said, my brother, if we now talk about a causal relationship, there is no need for further discussion. If dancehall don't cause crime, then government now for discuss it, and politician now for discuss it, and me not into me a politician. You understand? So if it not cause crime, me now for discuss it. So if you just want to say dancehall influence what we drink and dancehall influence our mood, you can say that. Me talk about if dancehall cause crime. That is what I am talking about. See? So this thing about straw man and all them things, I don't know what you're talking about. You understand me, something, brother? Me say dancehall don't cause crime. In particular, murder. So there's some research where I got exposed to in that field. See? Because we have gone out to research. See? There's a research what the man them do, right? Professor of psychology, Lawrence Steinberg. See? He did a research in 2013. You can Google this, right? Lawrence, Laurence, Steinberg, Steinberg. He concluded from his 2013 peer-reviewed article, there's little credible evidence that violent media cause people to commit real-world violence. See? You can just do some research on that. See? He went further, the same man. These widespread beliefs are convenient distractions from the real causes of the problem behavior. See? Alright. Because I know just music, you know. Some people say violent movies, some people say violent video game. Video game have come under a lot of criticism for say that it'll lead people to criminal activities. See? Alright. So we come to another one now where this other man now. Connection between entertainment and crime has been researched in many countries. Some examples of the countries that research it include governments of Norway, the government of Britain, the government of Australia, the government of Sweden, all of which found no evidence that violent media led to violence. In fact, there are countless other studies. See? So, studies we are getting now, you know, see? So, we can look on that. Now, we'll look on the next study now. Seymour Fesbach. See? Feshbach. He did a study in 1971. So, a long time this discussion will go on. He found that violent entertainment was more likely to diffuse than stimulate aggression. He argues that violence under the guise of dramatic fantasy is found throughout history and seems likely that the vicarious participation in these fantasies does satisfy some human need. See? So may I just break down that some more, make we have a reasoning. See? As I say, I'm not calling a simple Simon because you have a right to your opinion and you say you have seen it and you hear things, right? Matter about research. This brother here, Seymour Fesbach, see, is saying that some people who will not participate in violence seek to consume violent entertainment as their participation in violence. So a man will now physically participate. Now, if you're looking at Jamaica, we have an embrace of aggressiveness. See? Most of us have said to someone, you know where I come from? You understand? Especially if they are foreign or man a Jamaican and you embrace being aggressive. See? Now, when you really check out the mathematics, see, I call them bachelor done. So when you check this mathematics, this man say that one consumer of violent entertainment is actually the person who is going forward to mitigate against doing it. See, so that leads to yeah. So me now want to reduce this conversation now to one time, and people did say and them thing there, right? It's too important a conversation for we look. So this man now suggests Seymour first batch 1971. You can Google it. See him say yo here what him think say it actually reduce violent participation by actually now just listening to it. So sometimes you see a man him vex and just listen some tune, see, and this man said that would have then now reduce him intent, see? That's how him says, see? You have another man now. The US government study in 1972. This is by the United States government, see? The findings suggest little evidence existed that the consumption of violence had an adverse effect on the majority of children. So a lot of people out there say, but what happened to the children? What happened to the children? This is what the researcher said, 1972. See? Now, I might not make my child be exposed to that. That is my decision. See, that is not government. Government not just based upon decision. Government have to based upon what all of us are going to experience. So my independent and individual decision might be that I don't want my child to listen to that because of my opinion. But me talk about what research says. See, so the US government did that from as early as 1972. In quote, it says that these findings suggest little evidence existed that the consumption of violence had an adverse effect on the majority of children. See? Alright, come again now. A brother named Milaski, M-I-L-A-S, M-I-L-A-L-S-K-Y. See? Ronald Milaski. Him do another research now. Him do that in a Sunday in this thing. See? So him do this research now in 1982. See? Him do a longitudinal study, which means him study over time. Him capture over time different facts and different realities of 3,200 per persons. So him track 3,200 people over time, exposing them to violent media, in particular music and so. And the person found no evidence of behavioral effect from consuming media violence. See? So this is a research we're talking about. I'm not talking about who did feel so when sister did sing one song and all them something. That's an anecdotal way a man assumes, see? And I'll come to that soon, see? I'll come to that soon. Alright. Then now you have a next one now named Wigman in 1992. This brother named Wigman, see? A study of 14 groups from 6 countries. So Wigman comes and now and him go study 14 different groups in a 6 countries. You see, if you have like cross-country difference. See, so like a man would say, what you talk about America, what you talk about that, right? You have cross-country difference. So I look on the cross-country difference. So this a brother, you know, him go study it and him say that a study of 14 groups from 6 countries found that the opinion formulated on the basis of social learning theory that media violence consumption leads to aggressive behavior cannot be supported. See? That's what you are suggesting. What you are suggesting is man say cannot be supported. You are suggesting that media have an influence sufficient to create violent activity or to actually contribute to violent activity. So this brother, you know, Wigman, 1992, he says a study of 14 groups from 6 countries found that the opinion formulated on the basis of social learning theory that media violence consumption leads to aggressive behavior cannot be supported. Alright, that sounds like some old research. I'm going to go on some more new research. I have a lady named Dr. Cheryl Olson. See? So Cheryl Olson in 2004, see? She did a study of 1,254 7th and 8th graders. So we are take out this whole age conversation. So she do some 7th and 8th grader. And also 500 parents. She found that there was no causal relationship between violent media consumption and violent behavior. See, this is 1,254 7th and 8th grader. See, now she now said none of them are violent. You know, she said she found that when they actually consumed violent media, the influence was not sufficient to lead to. You get where I come from? Was not sufficient to lead to violent action. See, watch me now. Dr. Stanton Seminole. See? Stanton. Here, the author suggests that even the assumption that the consumption of violent media leads to criminal action is an absurdity. Now, that you say no. You say the reverse. You say if you not agree, it's absurd. See? And you say based on what you say. And talk about research now. See? Stanton Seminole, he says in quotation, it is absurdity. See? Alright, cool. Still sound a little old. I could go to some newer one. Max Fisher, 2012. Found no causal link between consumption of violent media and actual gun violence. And that you talk about, because I watch your show, you know. And I'm also gun, what you call him again? You call him 87, see? I'm also gunman you talk about. And the majority of murder in Jamaica, gun murder, see? So it comes and say the majority, my bad. He says, found no causal link between the consumption of violent media and actual gun violence. This is research, right? Published research, see? Dr. John Kiberno, 2009. He did a meta-analysis of 25 studies, see? So him now studies. So a meta-analysis is to look at other studies and to see what these studies are saying and then for either try to prove or disprove, see? So I do a meta-analysis of studies. It included 12,436 subjects. So this is a better wide scale. I look on 12,436 subjects. He found a correlation so small that they concluded if the goal of society, may I quote my brother, Sir P, may I quote, if the goal of society is to reduce violence, scientific, political, and economic effort would likely bear more fruit in other realms. So when him say realms, I mean in other areas. See, Sir P? So what the man has said basically is that when him do the studies, see, and him do all him research, if the goal, which me think is your goal, see, come see I look out on the 87s and them thing they see, and me I look out on 87 things that me not feel safe in Jamaica. I think me happy with murder and all them things they know. See? So me I say to you, say, yo, boom, don't discredit me by saying that means a man where I support all crime and them things. I mean not do them things. See, now if you look at my history or Google my name, I burn them things that's straight through. See, begging and crime, I burn them and dunceness, I burn out them things that's straight. So therefore, when you look on these things now, you're saying that this brother do 12,436 subjects and he found over 25 studies that if the goal of society, and I quote, is to reduce violence, scientific, political, and economic efforts would be better, would likely bear more fruits in other realms. See? Alright. Christopher Ferguson is another brother now. Dr. Christopher Ferguson, 2013. People may object morally to some of the content that exists in media. That are like gun music and thing. People object morally. Even some of them me not like. When I hear some of them, me I say, yo, this disgusting. Me not like the song. See? So morally, our moral compass may cause us to object. This is what the man say. Me I quote, you know. Quote, people may object morally to some of the content that exists in media. But the question is whether the media can create criminal behavior. The answer seems to be no, unquote. So that we are discussing. Me not talk about if me like it or if it should happen or if them fi sing that or if poor youth fair celebrate death of poor youth. I'm saying that it don't lead to criminal behavior. He says here, people may object morally to some of the content that exists in media, but the question is whether media can create criminal behavior. The answer seems to be no. Here the man go further now. He argues further. We basically find that genetics and some social issues combine to predict later adult arrests. Despite ongoing concerns about media influence, media do not seem to function as a risk factor for adult criminality, unquote. So this is a research. Not about, me did feel like around the road one time in a 87, them did have a song and the song did create this. No. See? This is too important for us to deal with it so basic, bro. We can't deal with it so basic. So we have to look on what the researchers say, see? Because remember, enough people live off of this. As you said, you have some man who live off of it and them and defend it. Me no live off of it. But me know say it take people out of poverty, so me I defend it too. Because 65% of the people out there not have no education and have no subject. So them not gonna reach off our education where we are now. I'm gonna see no movement for carry the education to a level where they will be able to. So there's this entertainment industry that has facilitated people where able to go in without high assets. They never have a born rich to make it rich. So me I defend it because of that. So what happened now? This brother here comes and him say, you may object morally. I'm gonna figure you object morally, and to some of them me object morally. Some of them me find it to be entertaining, but you may object morally. See? And to all of them. But me object to some of them, and me cool with some of them. Just like I'm not like some show, but just too grimy. You understand? Too much blood, too much this, me not like them show. But me watch some gun show same way, right? So therefore this man here say, yo, when him study criminals, him find say, yo, media wasn't the basis. We come now to those 2020. A sister named McFarlane, she did a study. She says, there is no meaningful relationship between music and real life violence when compared to police recorded violent crime data. So when it comes to police recorded violent crime data, she found that there was no meaningful relationship between music and real life data. So if we are going to debate how we feel, me can't debate how you feel, brother. And you can't debate how me feel. Because feeling is a right. Everybody have that emotion. Some people, I watch this now and feel me wrong. You understand? We have a debate facts out there. Now, let's go back to this thing about causality. See, that's the relationship, causality, because you're suffering from what me I call the ice cream theory. Once upon a time, a man did suggest that ice cream make people drown. A man said to him, how ice cream for make people drown, bro? That don't make no sense. He was a big scientist. I come and tell you, say ice cream make people drown. The brother said, when I look on the data, ice cream consumption increase and drowning increase. So as ice cream consumption increase, more people drown. So the brother must say, what? I have to go check this out because I come like say ice cream and full out them belly and make them drown. I give them brain freeze and make them drown. So our next brother look upon it now and him see that it have shared influence. What that mean? In the summer, because the time hot, more people go to the beach. Because more people go to the beach, by extension, more people drown. In the summer, because time hot, more people eat ice cream. Now that have nothing to do with the drowning. In fact, some people can say, when me eat ice cream and me cool down, me don't bother go to the beach, and ice cream might have prevented me from being drowned. This is a real thing I tell you about, see? So what happened now is that you're suffering from that. You see that there's a shared direction. See? I just see more crime, I will see more guns on. But you're not pre, so there might be some underlying thing that is creating both of them in that direction. Now, we'll go back to it. See, if you agree that there's only a discussion if there's causality. If it's not causality, we don't need no discussion. See, if crime isn't influenced by dancehall in a way that dancehall consumption cause for the more likelihood of criminal activity, there is nothing to discuss, bro. Nothing to discuss. See? So we have to discuss causality. There are three things that must exist for a causal relationship to be assumed. See? These are rules, these are science, these are not feelings and emotions. See? These are not simple Simon Taylor, as you like to say. See? For causality to be assumed, first of all, it must have a shared direction. So you must know, say, all right, you see when variable A go up, variable B go up. So you see when if violence, murder music cause crime, see? Then when murder music increase, crime have to increase. And when murder music decrease, crime have to decrease. See? So that must exist. All right. Now, that does not exist in Jamaica. If you look through 1980 and come right up, the increase in murder music and the decrease in murder music don't lead to an increase in crime or a decrease in crime. See? Me da go look for the whole year when Sizzler thing come out and all of them thing. But even more recently, Chronics them and thing did have a whole wave of culture music. One of my favorite artists, the brother sing live seeds I saw, and then the man they around the place. See? So while it is that, yeah, there is a whole consciousness revolution to where people who did feel suppressed in their consciousness, women where they want to wear natural hair couldn't get for wear natural hair in peace and feel satisfied, they gravitated towards that type of music. See, if I'll show you a simple example now. You remember when time Buju did come and say him love browning, see, and then a whole set of woman and say, yeah, Buju browning, and some woman will never brown a cuss, boo, Buju Ray, and then Buju come and say, me no stop cry for all black woman, and then now you see another set of people go to that. Those who were brown gravitated to the browning song, and the man who were like browning, bow for the browning song. When him come now with the stop cry for black woman song, those who were black and those who love black woman, them gravitate to that song. So what I try to show you, my brother, is that the direction of the relationship is that those who have criminal minds and criminal intent, they gravitate to criminal content. But it don't mean that if criminal content made them criminal, bro. Does not mean that. Alright, so the first thing, that you have shared direction. The second thing is that you must prove that the dependent variable came after the independent variable. So in this case, if there's a causal relationship between murder music or music in general and outcome activity, you must show that the music came before the activity. So alone you can say there's a causality. So make a look on like sugar and water then. See? You see, if you come to boom and you add sugar, the more sugar you add, is the sweeter it will get. So sugar causes sweetness. So the first thing, it have shared direction. More sugar, more sweet. Less sugar, less sweet. So the direction is more or less. You understand that, my brother? Cool. So the second thing now is that you have to show, say, it is the sugar come before the sweetness. The sweetness can't come before the sugar. You must add sugar and then it becomes sweet. So let me show you some things now. Look on this whole scamming thing. And now we see a lot of songs that come about scamming. Skilly Bang did have one, and some other people now. Whole heap of man has a Chopper Dan and all these things. What came first? The scamming or the music about scamming? Because to my definite knowledge, scamming came before the music about scamming. So because you don't have that direction now, where you say that the scamming, the music exists before the action, then that disproves causation. Are you understanding what I'm saying, my brother? So therefore, there's no causation. The third thing is majority outcome. The majority of times that you add sugar, it should become sweet. The majority of times that you consume murder music, it should lead to murderous activity. And that is definitely not true. If you look on the total amount of murderers in Jamaica, total, I'm going to give every murder to a different murderer. Last year, so one man do a murder and him stop, not do no more murder. We don't have the majority. The most we can have is 1,700 murderer. Because we have 1,700 murder. You understand? So therefore, most we could have a 1,700. The consumption of murder music is up to 1 million or whatever, much more than 1,700. So that disproves causality. Now, don't get me wrong, bro. I'm not promoting or pushing murder music. When me down my yard, listen whole heap of soca, I listen whole heap of regular culture music, I listen enough dancing music and things like that. I'm not really a fan of this go out in the road shooting nine head ray. I'm not a fan of it. You get where I come from? More so than in a dance, me do two bad man forward, bad man pull up. But me not be a promoter now, because I know say it will become skewed for say me a promote. I am saying that the assumption that the influence, I will use the term, see, whether through force or not, of the music can cause criminal activity. It is wrong, it is incorrect, and it is disproven by science. If you want to argue now, say this music is not nice or is not for me, you can debate that next time. Me I talk about causation. So the three things more you have to take away from this, my brother. One, if we now talk about leading to, influence leading to, criminal activity, we not talk about nothing at all. See? So if you think say just stop and we just talk about it cause for X, it influence but it don't cause, then you can keep, and we're not discussing that. That no basis of a discussion. If you talk about it cause, it lead to criminal activity through its influence, then the science have disproven it, as I've shown you. If you have argued that because it can influence something, it means it influence everything, that is not true, not even for you, for nobody at all. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So therefore, if a virgin come to me and I say, yo, again is where I drink, maybe I say, yeah. But if he might come to me and say, I'm going to murder some people, I'm not there with him. You understand? And it's not just me. The majority of us who are not murderers in our intent, not going to be there with him. So influence have a limit. You understand? Beyonce can maybe influence girls with a wear, but them cannot influence them entire life. You understand? Them influence the more lower level norms, more lower level values. See? Like what to wear and how to dance and those things. But the more core values, yes, it's not going to influence those things. And murder is a core value. See? And the third thing is, let us debate more so than what we feel upon the research. There is some research that say violent content lead to aggression. It has been proven over and over that aggression is not a reasonable proxy for violence, for murder. So for example, enough sport like football and American football too, and soccer and basketball, you build a vibes to be aggressive in how you tackle and all them things, but you're not going to seek to injure and you're not going to seek to murder. You understand? So therefore, those research that say that violence lead to aggression could not carry it to the point where violence, that music lead to aggression could not carry it to the point where music lead to violence. So, Sir P, my response to that. See? Big up yourself.
Nation, that right for now. You see what time o'clock, you see what time and I quickly leave this place. And as usual, my people. But Wagwan.